too aggressive and too proud for love. But I gotta go on loving you forever. I'm gonna go on loving you forever and a day. Costly for kindness, it's frantic and friendship is rare. Too short and too shallow for true love, too hard and too fast to care. But I'm gonna go on loving you forever. I'm gonna go on loving you forever and a day. These times are too clever for comfort, too commercial for peace and joy, too possessive for faithfulness. This day and age, love is a toy. But I'm gonna go on loving you forever. I'm gonna go on loving you forever and a day. I'm gonna go on loving you forever. I'm gonna go on loving you forever and a day.
Thank you.
Oh dear, we're in the next song. Now what do we do? Touch Eternity. That's a lovely song. See what we can manage. Lord, there have been moments, haven't there been days, when it seems I'm lost forever on a single note of praise, as the hopes and fears around me are somehow left behind, and I soar into your presence beyond the rounds of time. I touch eternity, a taste of heaven, breathtaking wonder of a love so freely given. I touch eternity, bright morning star, and you let me know it's all worth waiting for. Er is een Nederlandse muzikant die hier de marimba speelt, Dick Lemaire. Hij schreef de muziek voor dit liedje. Dick Lemaire. Lord, I felt the emptiness when precious life has flown, when no heart on earth could reach me to help me carry on. Through tears and aching silence, I feel your spirit reign, as your gentle arms of comfort surround me once again. I touch eternity, a taste of heaven, breathtaking wonder of a love so freely given. I touch eternity, bright morning star, and you let me know it's all worth waiting for. Dit is Dick nu. Het is een prachtige marimba. And here I am, oh Father, a life at peace and war, between the thunder of my heartbeat and the whispers of the stars. While from your power and majesty, the glory of I am. You walk my daily footsteps, and my name is on your palm. I touch eternity, a taste of heaven, breathtaking wonder of a love so freely given. I touch eternity, bright morning star, and you let me know it's all worth waiting for. Hey, hey, ya, diva duda, devene down the low. Ruba la ba ba da divini day, ya papa, rumba, tire da, look at that. Okay. Whoa.
So it was a Friday night in London, and the church was called the Invisible Church, and I had arrived there in October in London, and all roads led to London. So I met 3 people when I was traveling in Greece, all who lived in London, and they were all brief, very brief encounters, but each one of them said to me, look me up when you get to London. And London was my last stop before I went back to San Francisco, where I was living. I had an apartment, all my stuff was there. I was just gonna do Europe as the Americans do. And, but when I got to London, I understood very clearly that I didn't wanna go anywhere else. That this was it. And so I called my mother and said, hey Ma, you know, I'm staying here, I'm staying in London. Oh, well, she was just, fell off her chair, you know, she was quite devastated by that. And these 3 people, one was a Jewish man from London, and he was, had become a Christian when I connected with him, and he took me to the Invisible Church. And Ina, who was from Lithuania, she, I knocked on her door on the 1st of October, the day I arrived, and because the other 2 I couldn't get a hold of, but Ina, I did. She said, well, you can stay with me. I moved into the Lithuania house, which was a 30-room house with all these old Lithuanian men. And Ina, who was the princess of them all. I mean, it was just hilarious. So I lived with her till the day we got married, which was from October of 79, we got married in August of 80, so it all went very quickly, and we were engaged to be married in February of 80, so, and that's, the Lord said to Billy when he met Jesus in Amsterdam, I'm going to give you a wife in 1980 and do nothing about it. And so he was extremely paranoid about any women that came anywhere near him because of this word that he had. And
the reason, you know, I've messed it up too many times, and so I got this word. You'll be married next year, and you do nothing about it. Keep your hands off. You know, it was like that.
And so God really cleverly used the theater to bring us together, and so we became partners in flames.
Yes.
And that was very easy to be friends and to
Work
do this together, work together. And so we did, and we entered into it wholeheartedly, and 6 of us. And I remember Billy taking me out to McDonald's one night after rehearsals and telling me all about this woman, Judith, in Amsterdam, who was a dancer, and how she was so lovely and this and that. And I already knew that I was going to be his wife, you know, but
I had no idea.
But I couldn't, I mean, you know, I was just going to watch it happen. And then when he asked me to marry him in February, then I called my mother. I said, "Hey, Mom, I'm getting married." First it was, I'm not coming home, and now it's I'm getting married. And my mother said, "Can he speak English?" And I said, "Not hardly." She's crying over the phone. It was very funny. And so the first time I met Billy, he was playing the saxophone up at the top of the worship. He'd come in November to start this theater company. And at the end of the meeting, he came down the aisle to greet me. And we embraced one another like old friends. And I just, I had worked in a Dutch psychiatric hospital here in Grand Rapids. I had a lot of Dutch friends, and when they found out, we had an engagement party here, didn't we?
Yes.
My sister Denise, and when they found out I was marrying a Dutchman from the Netherlands, they said, "Oh, you had to go to the old country and get one. We weren't good enough." I said, "No, you weren't." And he was the only Dutchman in a church where there were 35 countries represented, and it's just like I knew him, and right from the beginning. But then we both took 2 steps back and thought, "Who are you? You're a stranger." But and then we wanted to get married in London, and my mom said, "Well, we can't come. Why don't you get married in Detroit, and I'll do the whole thing?" She said, "You can just turn up 2 weeks before the wedding."
You see, I thought London was just exactly in the middle between Detroit and Amsterdam,
It is.
But it turned out it was different. Yes.
So we ended up, as you know, in this
Yeah.
Catholic,
Oh,
Maronite Catholic Church in Detroit, And the priest, Father Maroon, was from the old country, and he wouldn't give Billy communion. I was so angry because he wasn't Catholic. And Billy's like, "It's okay." Okay. But when I was in Greece, I staying with Tom and Linda, because he had a job in Saudi Arabia, but they let them live in Athens because nobody wanted to live in Saudi, but that's where he worked. And so he commuted from Greece to Saudi. And that's when I first met the Lord, and I was doing yoga. I did yoga for 2 years and 2 hours a day for a long time. But because I was raised Catholic, I always did the prayer as a prayer to Jesus. That was the one remnant from my Catholic upbringing that remained, because the Catholic thing just never really damaged me, but it also never really touched me either. And but I knew that when you pray to Jesus. And so I was praying, doing my yoga and praying to Jesus, and all of a sudden there he was. And I said, "I didn't know you answered prayer. I thought prayer was one way." And he said to me, "I want you to see as I see." And then he was gone. And what God did was take something that was so impossible for me, which was to have a relationship with a man, because of damage that had done with my own father. And what he did was he turned it into the most harmonious relationship I've ever had. And 42 years on, I can say that it's as harmonious now as it was then, which is a total miracle to me, because I really, without the healing of God, I could not have been in a relationship. It was as simple as that.
Wow, well said. Shall we sing one more?
Yeah.
Here it comes. And then we're done.
I never knew you. Could I turn and walk away? Oh, man. For you only have the best, the very best in mind, and you always give me hope of better things to come, and you never ask of me what I cannot give, and you never turn away, always ready to forgive things I like that you don't like, things that I do that you don't want to see. Will they lose their attraction? And do you mean more than anything to me? Oh yes. For you only have the best, the very best in mind, and you always give me hope of better things to come, and you never ask of me what I cannot give, and you never turn away, always ready to forgive. Here's Patrick playing the guitar en de keyboard. Dit liedje gaat ook terug naar de wonderdagen, maar blijft vers en nieuw elke dag. Hear my voice and my confession. You have won my heart, my mind, and my soul. I gladly give you every weakness, in confidence that you will make me whole. For you only have the best, the very best in mind, and you always give me hope of better things to come, and you never ask of me what I cannot give, and you never turn away, always ready to forgive. For you only have the best, the very best in mind, and you always give me hope of better things to come, and you never ask of me what I cannot give, and you never turn away, always ready to forgive. Oh Lord, I love you. You love me first. When you called me Lord, I didn't want to know you, didn't want to know you. But you love me, kept on loving me. Oh Lord, I love you. Now I know that you are the very best.
Well, there we are.
Hey!
No.
Well, if you're anything like my family, they're still trying to figure out what happened to me. They know that something dramatically changed, but they still can't figure it out, and they're thinking like, what is she? Is she some kind of fundamentalist now, or is she some kind of right-wing religious fanatic, or is she still the same person that we've always known? And it's, And
And they still don't know.
I can't figure it out, no, but I know they love me, so.
They do. They told me.
Dit is Pat Metheny met zijn band. En ze speelden die nacht in de Ahoy in Rotterdam. En het was een schitterend concert. Het is opgenomen, het is een cd. En aan het einde van die avond speelde Pat Metheny, een gitarist, een Amerikaanse gitarist. En hij speelde een stuk. En het publiek vond het zo mooi dat toen dit klaar was, begon ze het stuk terug te zingen. Naar hem. En dat hebben ze allemaal opgenomen en deze album begint daarmee. En het was gewoon een ongelooflijke avond. En het was in de Nederland notabene. Huh?
Nee, je doet het in Nederland, je kan het doen in Engels.
In English, yes.
I understood
But you
everything.
understood. It's Pat Metheny performing in Rotterdam.
I got the nouns.
Yeah, and it was a great evening. Well, I think we have come to the end of this evening, and I appreciate that Caleb and Amy didn't run off any earlier. I know you got to get up early for work, and your days are full and busy. So thank you for coming and for staying, and let's hear it for Amy and Caleb. It was very special you joined us tonight.
Thank you.
You took a risk, and I hope you're okay with it.
Oh yeah.
Although you didn't win the tournament.
We can talk about what happened to your tower later.
Yes, please. Yes. We'll do my man.
So we're gonna just do a little clearing up. We can hang around. We're in no rush, but I think Amy and Caleb will be happy to be on their way. I'm not sending you off, but
Where did you park?
feel free to go if you want to.
In front.
Oh, it's just the vegetables call you so early.
You hear them?
All the carrots. They want him to turn up. Let us get up.
Yeah. You have to.
Yeah.
We'll do that.
Let it.
Yeah.
We are with
Pete
the
will do
lot.
it with pleasure.
You go.
He's good at taking things
You
that are
have to go.
his.
Yes, so that's easy.